I'm on the line with Benny Cox. We're talking about the success of a 2-day sheep and goat sale there in San Angelo. Benny, how did it go?
We got along pretty good. We ended up selling one side of 13,500. I don't know what the exact count is. Of course, it took 2 long days to get through. We didn't get through till like 4 o'clock this afternoon. It was like 8 o'clock last night. Anyway, we didn't have enough. These wool feeder lambs, we didn't have enough of those to talk about. Now, we had some of those wool lambs that had their tails and their horns, and that's what they look for this holiday. And some of those guys practice getting ready for that deal. A lot of those things. We had some of those big lambs. I can't remember exact weights that brought over $3 a pound, but most of them bring from $2.70 to $3. The exact same lambs that would have been tails, cut off and all this stuff that could have gone to the feedlot might have brought $2.20 or $30. So that was, that's a big splash.
Right.
This is probably the last week that'll happen. Maybe some of the, for that holiday.
Right.
Muslim holiday of sacrifice. Now, next week they can buy some stuff that may stay in Texas and get them there, but not for those out-of-state shipments. So we'll, be a chance you just see what happens next week. We really got along really well on some of those really big fleshy lambs, especially the big buck lambs. Those probably sold on the steady side, but we're seeing a bunch of those lambs that are showing up in dry weather stress, those lightweights. They were softer, no doubt. Most of these hair sheep lambs that went to slaughter were pretty near steady. Late today, they softened up a good deal on those really lightweights, maybe 10 to 15 lower, maybe 20 in some spots, but the big ones held steady. Slaughter ewes, they were a lot higher this week, 10 to 20 higher. Kid goats were kind of 10 to 20 lower, and that was relative to a number of things. One being is the lack of flesh condition. The really top end of those goats was still probably $10 to $15 lower. Where there's a lot of them that brought $370, $80 last week, they had to bring $360 this week before they could get there. Slaughter nannies, they were really high. They range from $120 to $250, but mostly $180 to $205. That's the highest I've seen in a long time.
Right.
Slaughter billies from $190 all the way up to $294. Now, those $294s would have been some younger kind of billies and real good flesh that were definitely going to that holiday deal. The spread on your lighter end of the hair sheep type that go to slaughter from $220 to $280, the heavier weights from $220 to $255. Slaughter ewes, 80 to 144, but mostly 97 to 134. On your kid goats, a spread from 230 to 380, but mostly 304 to 340.
How about the cattle sale?
We're catching quite a few cattle today. We may get north of 1,000 tomorrow, possibly.
Good.
It's getting pretty hard and hot enough that people are thinking about, boy, I need to get them off the cows, I guess. That's part of it.
Well, tell everybody how to get a hold of you, Benny Cox.
They can call me on my mobile. It's 325-234-4277. Office, same area code, 653-3371. Or they can look at the web, which is producersincargyle.com.
Thank you, Benny.
Yes, sir. Talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.